The International Future of Building Forum. I'd like to invite our speakers up to the stage to take their seats. If the speakers could please come up and take the seat near their name. So if we could have Engineer Al-Bakawi over here next to me, your names are next to the seats where you will sit, so on and so forth. And that would be Mr. Krupensky would be on the end. Mr. Al-Karayev, he would be, I'm going to ask to move you. Sorry, engineer, can you move over one, please? Thank you. And so on. We're just waiting for two more speakers to join us. Hopefully we'll find them. And then we will begin. I know that Mr. Krupensky was here a minute ago. I don't know where he is now.
He's coming.
He's in the comfort area.
He's
okay. He'll be with us in a minute.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ahmed Al-Bakawi. I represent Saudi Industrial Development Fund today. It's a real pleasure to be part of this event. Thank you so much, James, on having us here. What we do at the SIDF is we support a lot of industries, and definitely building and construction is one of the main industries that the SIDF has been supporting for its long history. Inshallah, next year we would be completing and celebrating our 50th year anniversary. As the VP of Studies, the Studies business line, we do a lot of due diligence based on the project itself and also on the market dynamics. We're very proud of what we do because it gives us a sense of helping people change lives, in the sense that we help investors in knowing where should they invest the next 5 to 7 years of their careers.
Lovely, thank you. And I'd like to go to Mr. Al-Karayev, and if you could tell us a bit about you and your involvement with the Build Show.
Okay, sure. My name is Abdullah Ibrahim Al-Khuraif. I'm the CEO of Al-Khuraif Commercial Company, a board member of Al-Khuraif Industrial Company. I'm also the President of the Industrial Committee in the Riyadh Chamber of Commerce. I'm board member also in Riyadh Chamber of Commerce. So I work in different industries. I have a lot of exposure, whether it's in the power segment, agriculture segment, also the marine segment. So I have bits and pieces of different sectors. I'm very glad to be here today, and I hope we add value to the audience.
Thank you. Mr. Akil.
Thank you, James. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Faraz Aqil. I belong from India, and I am working with Miller Technologies GmbH. It's a German company into woven technical textiles. We are a part of the famous Freudenberg Group, which is famous across the world for its special technical textiles, which is including geotextiles and non-wovens, as well as they acquired Miller in 2019 now. So Saudi Arabian market is not new to us. We have been partnering on various projects in Saudi Arabia for our technical textile, especially the roofing membranes, where we have supplied for major projects across the region for almost 15 to 20 years now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Mr. Krupensky, thank you.
Hello to everyone, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Samuel Krupensky, and I'm the CEO of Kruna Industries. First of all, I want to express my gratitude for being invited here. Thank you also Dr. Salifu and his team organizing this great event. My company, Kruna Industries, is a technology company that developed a binder that is able to replace cement completely. So for the last 10 years, we did research and development, and finally we made it.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to set the scene first with the engineer amongst us. Your development fund is obviously very important to mega projects and the big infrastructure projects, take like the land bridge and, you know, all sorts of big projects. Could you just give us more of the detail of the role that the development fund takes in mega projects and infrastructure?
Sure. The role of SIDF in the context of Vision 2030 today is to help make sure that we enable the transformation of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to become an industrial powerhouse and a global logistic hub. This is important for all the manufacturing that is happening in the building material and building technologies to help enable them really access new markets and even expand into reaching new customers easily. What we try to do as well in SIDF is enhance everything related to the ecosystem of investing by providing financial and non-financial services. Financial services is finding out what do the construction companies and building material technology companies require today in terms of working capital financing, project financing, and novel type of funding. And at the same time, we try to help them with non-financial services. And this is something that we have been doing lately in SIDF, which is advisory services, with helping them with the go-to-market strategy, helping them with cost optimization and operational excellence, lean manufacturing. And another aspect of non-financial services is being a knowledge enabler. SIDF is proud to be the host of the AM Hub, Additive Manufacturing Hub. And at the same time, we are trying to host a lot of workshops so we can learn from other advanced manufacturing hubs all over the world, so we can help the investors in Saudi Arabia to overcome challenges that have been resolved in different areas.
So are you actually actively involved with the smart factories manufacturing base and things like that to make sure that we take Saudi Arabia ahead of the game and makes it more internationally competitive?
SIDF is definitely playing an active role. It is not the only player. It's part of an ecosystem. And every entity in the industrial ecosystem is really collaborating to make sure that we push the factories into advancements of that sort.
So are you working with the Ministry of Industry in that capacity as a close partner?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can I turn to you, sir? Sure. Okay. Obviously, your involvement is very different to a supporting role. It's more of a doing role, right? Can you give us some, kind of examples of these groundbreaking projects and how you involve with them and really your role on the ground of making it happen?
Yeah, sure. Of course, obviously, the momentum here in Saudi Arabia is very high, especially in these type of projects. And today, what we call as a vision became reality. Today, our company is very proud that it's participating in various projects. One of that's the generating the power of the interview for His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Sindala Island was actually by our generators. So this is the way we say that we are participating. So today we have projects that are, for example, in the generators business, we are participating in it through the contractors or directly, but mostly through the contractors. And then this is from the industrial part. And then from the commercial part of the Kharif group, we are also participating, for example, in the golf fields. So all of the new golf fields are equipped with equipments that we're actually commissioning and selling through our company. So today, again, the momentum is helping us, and we are leveraging on whatever is happening, whether it's being part of a mega project or through a contractor that is part of a mega project. That's how we are participating, and trying also to participate more and more by leveraging on the local content initiatives that is happening in Saudi Arabia, by introducing new products that we are working on, such as the marine businesses. So today we are constructing the new boats manufacturing facilities, and then we will knock their doors to get some facility and loans for this. And this is just one of the examples. In addition to all of this, and I would also complement what he was saying, so from a user point of view, we are utilizing their enablement, whether it's from the lean manufacturing programs, and also the digital manufacturing facilities. And we have been doing one of the projects with the SIDF, where we had a fully robotic welding machine that was constructed by our engineering team, of course with the help of some manufacturers, financed by SIDF. Yes.
Excellent.
Yep.
So just coming back to the local content idea, are you finding that that is a growing sector within the construction industry and manufacturing, so you can source the things that you need? Because I've seen Made in Saudi all over the show.
Of course, and everybody now is becoming very proud of this logo. In fact, a couple of months ago, there was the Made in Saudi exhibition, and it is growing. Not only the physical growth, there is also a legislation growth. So today you will find different lists that companies or semi-governmental companies must buy from, which are made in Saudi products. So the ecosystem today is actually helping and encouraging where you will find the return of investments in the future by these initiatives. So it's not only, as I said, it's not a vision anymore, it's reality. And we're seeing this. And this is what really motivates most of the people you see in these halls to actually invest in manufacturing facilities, because they need to capture the opportunities that has been in the market from a local content perspective.
But at the same time, there's probably a balance required between, the investment that is coming in to create new Made in Saudi products, and also the requirement, because of the speed of the economy, to bring in imported technologies and things like that. So I'm going to go to Mr. Akil in this case, because you're bringing in technology into Saudi Arabia to complement the local content. Tell us a bit about your involvement in Saudi and your involvement with any of the mega projects or infrastructure.
Well, as I told you, we have Saudi Arabian market is not new to us. We have always been involved in a lot of architectural projects over here. And with the new Vision 2030, when the reliance is more on the non-oil sector, the growth of this sector is actually boosting a lot of investments in the infrastructure segment. And that is where we are actually working right now on a couple of stadium projects over here. Apart from that, we are working on a new material for a very unique project in Saudi Arabia at the moment, where we are combining the aspects of technical textiles with the aesthetics of traditional textiles. So we are trying to emulate both types of textiles, the traditional as well as technical, together in one form for a very unique architectural project in Saudi Arabia. This is going to happen next year, the execution of this project. However, I'm not supposed to divulge too much information, because as per the directives from the owners, it's classified. But once it is open to the public, you will get to know about it, and it's going to be one of the most unique projects in the world.
Thank you. And again, we're looking at another product that's kind of a unique in its own way that Mr. Krupenski is going to talk about. We're talking about cement-free construction. So I suppose cement, there's a lot of carbon going into the air to create cement, right? So maybe this is a more eco-friendly way of construction material. I don't know. Will you explain to the audience what cement-free construction materials about, please, and how you're contributing to the Vision 2030?
We face globally different challenges. One challenge is the CO2 that is emitted through cement worldwide. It contributes to more than 8%. Then another challenge that we face globally is the pressure by governments and also more and more banks to apply to ESG in the SDG criteria. And then another challenge that probably most of people don't know is there is a lack of construction sand worldwide. So out of the sand that exists globally, only 5% is usable for construction. That brought us actually to developing a solution to this problem, is developing a binder that is 100% mineral, and this binder has no cement, no resin, no fly ash, no slag, no microsilica. And when this binder is combined with sand, any kind of sand, also the round grain sand that doesn't work with cement, there is a similar reaction like you have with concrete, and it becomes concrete with no cement, and we call it Kruna rock. And this binder we can apply, can deliver to 7 different kinds of industries, from using as an additive for the cement industry to reduce carbon footprint, to build homes, precast solutions, to creating insulation that is also out of the binder and is 100% mineral, where we can produce bricks, stone products, and even sanitary ware. So with other words, what for nature takes maybe 1,000 years to transform sand into rock, we can do in hours.
And what about Saudi sand?
Saudi sand is one of the best sand. Yeah. we are able to achieve strength, compressive strength, even to 100 MPa with Saudi sand. As a comparison, a brick has a resistance between 10 and 15 MPa. Concrete, standard concrete, has a strength between 20 and 45 MPa. And through our technology, we are able to add value to all these mega projects and achieving even 100 MPa.
Well, you'll be going up against the glass people because they love Saudi sand as well, so good luck with that.
Thank you.
But I'm going to stick with you. The mega projects that are happening at the moment, and your sand on construction materials, what is the future for your company in Saudi Arabia? I mean, where do you see it going?
I believe we have a great future in Saudi, and despite of the, or let me say, because of this great vision that the leadership of Saudi Arabia has, there is an old saying that says, where there is no vision, people perish. And we have Saudi with a great vision, and with this vision that opens many doors, possibilities for people to develop, to use their gifts and abilities to add value to society and to environment. And also what is very important is the attitude. I was so impressed when His Excellency, the Minister of Economy and Planning, came to Austria. They were invited by the Chamber of Commerce in Vienna with a great team. One of the statements that stood out for me was hearing His Excellency saying, you know, when you come to Saudi, we are here to serve you. And I think this winning attitude is so important, is like a foundation to be able to build on it. And I believe that this vision that Saudi has is achievable with much effort and unity. And I think also with the innovation that we want to bring into the country and add value and also share knowledge is really together in cooperation to solve big problems and to be able to achieve this vision. Just the fact is that due to the lack of construction sand, can you imagine rivers are deployed, islands disappear because they suck out the sand globally, the sand out of the sea, beaches are destroyed, and with our technology we can use a raw material that has not been used for construction at all, use Saudi sand, to build and add value to this great vision.
Excellent. Well, providing jobs in Saudi, that's fantastic. Mr. Akul, on your technical textiles, what involvement do you have with the mega projects at the moment? Any, like a case study that we could actually get our teeth really into some detail on that?
Well, you see, technical textiles can be classified into are those textiles which have a lot of functional value. They are whereas in traditional textiles, the focus is on aesthetic value. And at the moment, Proddenberg is the biggest recycler of PET bottles in Europe. And our focus in the future is on sustainable products. So what we are trying to do at the moment is we are using these PET bottles, not this one, the glass one, sorry, but the PET bottles from Europe. We collect them, we recycle them, and we manufacture our raw material from these PET bottles. So, and our focus is clearly on sustainable products for the future, because we have earned from this nature and we want to give it back in the same way to the nature. So at the moment when we talk about mailer, we are working on certain key developments for architectural products where our base material is made out of these recycled PET bottles. And that is something which we are really focusing on at the moment in our company.
And those products, what kind of is that a biodegradable polymer, or the oxo one that goes into the tiny little molecules, or is that in its own right something that can be recycled later?
Well, I can give you an insight to it. This is all PET, polyester. So what we do is we recycle this PET and convert it into polyester yarns. So if you see a basic structure of our fabrics in mailer, it's all coated technical textiles, and the base material of this coated technical textiles is polyester yarn. So what we do is we take these PET bottles, we convert them into yarns, and from these yarns we make the base material of our fabric. And that is where almost 50% of our material is made out of recycled materials. So actually, internally, we call it upcycling rather than recycling, because we are recycling and using it again. Secondly, what we are also trying to do is, when we coat the material with PVC on the top or any other materials, we have a lot of leftovers. And we are, at the moment, this is something which is in a developmental place, but this is interesting and I can share with the audience. We are trying to even use the coating as recycled. At the moment, a certain percentage of the coating for certain products is usable at the moment, and we are trying to make our products 100% recyclable in the future.
Excellent. Where is this production taking place?
Well, this is all in Germany at the moment. We are a typical European company with 3 factories, 2 in Germany and 1 in Czech Republic. So most of the development takes place in Germany.
Excellent. Okay, and Mr. Al-Kharif, your policy for quality, in the construction industry, obviously that's a big thing. In the residential or the commercial, whatever area it is, what makes you different in terms of your policies to do with quality build and quality products and things like that? What differentiates your company?
Okay, I'll just give you a very simple example. We are very soft, humble people, except when it comes to the quality. So you might find people that are really out of the company, because of the low quality they get or they give. We had a WhatsApp group that was created 7 years ago, more or less, because we delivered the product to one of the customers and he actually take pictures and send it to me. It was low quality of delivery, so it was not the production itself, it was the delivery. And since that day, this group is still ongoing, and this group is mainly, we talk about anything that is related to the quality, of course the sales and availability, but mainly the quality. So there's no compromise. Now, how do we calculate the quality? So we have, in our manufacturing facilities, we have 2 lines of guards. Of course, that's after supply chain. Supply chain will do the inspection, will do the minimum requirements or maximum requirements when it comes to the quality of procurement. But in the manufacturing facilities, so we have the manufacturing itself, we have what we call the quality assurance team, and then we have another quality service team that's taking care of the end products. We do invest in all these systems that are available for quality, and we do not compromise. So again, it's the only, I would assume, it's the only place that we do not compromise in our company, where we have people that are related to quality and not doing enough. So we do not compromise in this, because and this is very important for us. We are a company, we are a family business that is over 60 years old. So the value that we give to the community is the quality of the name. And when you talk about the quality of the name, there is a drop list of things that one of them is the product itself. So the product, the service, the human interaction, the speed, the response, it's all about the quality. So there is a DNA within every one of our colleagues that is working, regardless if he's in the industrial company or in the commercial company or whatever company of Al Khaif. We have a DNA that we need to, we have a reputation that we need to maintain and make sure that we deliver based on this reputation.
I suspect that quality assurance guarantee that you is a minute-by-minute continual monitoring.
Of course.
And how do you manage that? I mean, do you use automation? Do you use...
Both. We actually have both. So it depends on which line of production we're talking about. So for example, we have the pipe mill. In the pipe mill, we have the roll, the coil, and then we put it in this pipe mill where they will rotate it and then they will weld it. All through the pipe mill or the production line, there is sensors. These sensors are in every production step are there. This is from a system point of view. Also, there is inspectors that are actually physically on the production line inspecting these welding pipes. After this, we have what we call the pressure machine, which we invested a lot of money in it, just for the sake of making sure that whatever pipes that are welded are under a 10 times higher pressure than what we expect, and it's still working. So this is also another line of inspection. So there is, during the line itself, it's fully automated. We have the physical inspection, and then we have the also other physical inspection where it's the practical inspection, where we put it under pressure. We pressurize it with water, and then we put... Again, one of the other things that we are very proud of is in our generators business, we actually have a very large testing room. It's fully automated, of course. And during COVID, we were very lucky to have this room because all of our customers had the ability to inspect their products before delivery over the internet. So it's online inspection. So they had the autopilot of all the gauges that they want to do, all the requirements they want to have, and then they will inspect online. So again, yes, it's automated, but again, we go a higher level where also our customers can have the ability to test their products online, and they can control all the tests by themselves.
But as a family business, so obviously generations of you have been involved in this business, that technological adoption in a family business, I mean, were you forcing that through? And
Oh, yes.
Your
Oh, yes.
dad was going, no, I don't want to spend the money.
Actually,
or-
the beauty about this is it's actually enforced by my uncle, he's 15 years older than me. We have a family that really believes in technology since the beginning. We were one of the very first companies in I would say in Saudi Arabia, proudly, in the late 70s to have IBM AS400 systems. So it's not a joke when it comes to technology adaptation. So our chairman formed what we call the Digital Excellence Center today. And they actually recruited a team of young people, young males and females from Saudi and around the world. And their job is to automate, digitalize the processes and whatever we can do in order to enhance the production or the operational cycles.
Excellent.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
no, that's a great story.
Yeah.
Thank you. Engineer, I'd like to dig deeper into the money side of things. We're all here for money, right? It's all profitability at the end of the day. So here we have the money guy from the development fund. And I think fund means something, so there's money to spend.
Fund
So-
means fun, I guess.
The fun of the fund, yeah. So, I mean, in terms of the international and local companies that you deal with, how do you, you know, what's the detail on the funding side, especially with the mega projects and the companies involved with the mega projects, I think, is what we want to know.
Thank you. That's a very nice question. I'll try as best as I can to put it in the context of building and construction for the audience that
And
are
can I get a
listening.
check at the end of the...
As long as you have a feasibility study that is complete, we'll look into it. But SIDF, when expanded its mandate, and this happened in 2018, 2019, we got the approval to go into new sectors. The past, or a majority of the 50 years of SIDF existence was just industrial. However, it was always involved in big and mega projects in the kingdom. It was involved by the government to get involved in projects related to power, Ministry of Education. So what I want to say is SIDF was always there, present in the mega and giga development of the country. So that was advantageous to the present, because now with the expanding mandates, we focus on not just industry, but also energy, whether it's conventional and renewable, mining, to make sure that we have a connection of the entire value chain of everything that is serving industry, and in the same time logistics, which is very important to enable this transformation of Saudi Arabia becoming a global logistic hub. Okay. This benefited the mega and giga projects that you see today, just like Lucid Motors, like Neom Green Hydrogen, like King Salman Maritime Complex. All of these projects were benefiting the decade after decade enablement from SIDF to the 18 cement factories, the building materials, the facilities that SIDF was able to bring into existence and support and aid that are supplying all the construction material for the mega and giga project and enable the development with ease. How are we supporting them today? Previously, we had one product, which is project finance, but we realized in order to be really enabling the projects, we had to expand. We had to look and have empathy to our client. Where do they need the funding the most? Many of them, they really don't need project financing. They need working capital. because they have a lot of use for raw material. Some of them, they need supply chain financing because they have a challenge that their clients, or either upstream or downstream, having a problem getting facilities from the bank. So we had to go and dive deep into a lot of creative financial facilities to make sure that we enable them. Also credit, letters of credit, letters of backing, collaborative efforts with commercial banks were required to make sure that we can disperse faster than usual. And that is something that we are very proud of, is that we're always thinking in the eyes of the entrepreneur or the investor. How can we make sure that they get the funds faster and they get exactly what they want? It's not they get something too large or something too tight of a facility plan. In addition to creating programs. And what I mean about creating programs, it's not just a financial loan, but it's also something in relation with the ecosystem. For example, we have land and loan with Mudun. Now you can, with one application, apply for the land and at the same time apply for the industrial loan. Something to do with the local content and collaboration. How do we incentivize you and give you better incentives if the local content is in agreement that you are fulfilling a local content mandate? So these kind of programs are very helpful to make sure that we give better incentives. So in summary, we expanded our mandate to include more sectors to finance. We changed the financial tool from one to many and different. We made sure as well we create a program that involves more than one area in the industrial ecosystem.
Okay, so scenario. I've come from outside Saudi Arabia with my binding agent from Germany, and I decide that I want to set up a factory here in Saudi Arabia. What's the process? So where do I start? Because you talked about a feasibility study first. So give me a blow-by-blow till I get the cash in the bank.
I mean, the most important thing is to make sure that you really have a good understanding of what do you want to do in the market. So definitely a best place to start, I would definitely recommend SIDF. For a simple reason, we like to, or we pride ourselves in becoming national development advisors, making sure that you really understand the market, you really understand what is available to you. One of the things that we find is a lot of investors come to SIDF with certain feasibility study, and what people really do not understand is the value that you get from the evaluation on your feasibility study is really priceless. You might discover so many things that are related to raw material, for example. You are under the assumption, whether it's you or your local partner, that this is the best source of raw material, but we are more than happy to let you know that there are other raw material available of the same grade, same quality, that will have better arrival time and could be at more competitive prices. So SIDF is an excellent place to start, because our fiduciary duty is to help you understand who do you need to talk to accelerate your existence in production. Once you deliver your feasibility study at SIDF, we hold ourselves accountable to give you a response within 120 days.
Wow.
On everything related to the feasibility study and the decision. And then it's the decision of the sponsor. Would they do the recommended changes? Because some of the changes is in your benefit. The last thing we want is recall the loan from securities, because as a development fund, nobody wins. What we want to do is recall the loan from the proceeds of the project itself. That is how we pride ourselves that the project is successful. And 80% of the portfolio that we have are SME projects. And that is why we are very keen on delivering, how can I say, a fiduciary, responsible consultancy, even from the first handshake at SIDF.
Thank you. So I'm just going to continue because I have a question here about the mega projects and, you know, obviously the financial aspects that you're learning again. Because you just talked 80% SMEs,
Yeah.
so the other 20% is going to be these big, large projects. Can just give us a perspective on the big project funding and how you get that money back into the fund at a later stage? Because if we look at something like NEOM and green hydrogen,
Yes.
which you talked about, I mean, this is something that's still ongoing, and
Absolutely.
we know it's going to be profitable.
Yes.
That's without doubt. But how do you get your money back in the long term, in the short term, medium?
Okay. It's a very beautiful strategy when you work at a development fund, because you are able to balance between the two, the giga and mega projects and the SMEs, because the giga projects proceeds are feeding the SME projects, and it's helping everybody develop. Because even the mega and giga projects, they really need the SME factories to help deliver the supply chain and help also fulfill the local content mandates. So in reality, you look at them at different sizes, but it's actually they are one community that are eventually merging or melting together in the same area. SIDF, throughout its existence, and next March will complete our 50-year anniversary. We would have, or up to now, I should say, we funded more than 4,000 projects. Throughout our history, we approved more than 177 billion Saudi riyals in loans, dispersed or gave out more than 140 billion riyals. And just to give people an understanding of the magnitude of what is happening in Vision 2030 and how it moved the nation, SIDF since Vision 2030 has approved in volume loans and disbursements more than what we have done in the previous 37 years of our history. So really what has been happening in the last couple of years since Vision 2030 is exciting. We're living in really exciting times. That is our perspective. And we would like to get people to understand this is the best time really in Saudi Arabia's history in terms of economic development, in terms of advancement of new projects. So we are fully committed to support projects of all nature that satisfy, I would say, the industrial strategy and also any of the focus areas of Vision 2030, not just financially, but even helping them with all the players in the ecosystem. The projects are important for job creation, they are important for economic development, and I would love to say that even at SIDF, we started looking at projects in terms of economic diversification and economic returns. So we want to make sure that we're not just helping a sector to grow, we are helping the diversification of what we are trying to build in the Vision 2030.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.
Al-Kharif, and you know, international competition. I mean, what's the battle? I mean, how are you dealing with that? Because obviously there are people coming in that, they were in the room now anyway. And, you know, how is your company, you're well established here in Saudi Arabia, but, you know, there's other players.
Well, everybody's welcomed. Let's start by saying this. And we are there also competing with them in their neighborhood. So we have been exporting our products all around the world in the irrigation business. We are now one of the top 3 players around the world. So we understand international competition very well. We know that the Saudi government have some sort of, I wouldn't say barriers, but some initiatives for the local companies. Nevertheless, you will still have international players that have a better quality, better services, and probably better technology. So the game today is, what are we doing in our house when it comes to technology development, production capacities, availability, and then also our strategies to reach the markets. So instead of being afraid of companies coming and competing in Saudi, I would take this question is on how can we go and export our products in the neighboring areas and again leverage on what's happening here in Saudi. So competition is always good. Competition will always raise the appetite to invest and understand that the customer satisfaction will become much better. And then it will reflect on companies that have real responsibility to its market share and translates this threat into opportunities of development in the product range or the quality of services or even the business model itself. So it's always a healthy thing to have competition.
So what are your competitive advantages that you have over other manufacturers that you have in Saudi? Is it labor costs are lower or transport costs are lower? Because we know, fuel here compared to Europe is...
In our industry, I wouldn't say labor cost, because it's not really, first of all, labor intense. It's actually, I think it's the technology, the reach to market strategy that you have, the different solutions that you provide to your customers. And I'm talking only about our type of products, where we always talk about ourselves that we are a solution provider. So when you are a solution provider, your responsibility does not stop in providing the price or a price list. It's actually what's behind this price list of the services and the technologies that you have. So just for an example, in our irrigation business, we recently acquired a company from Spain. It's specialized in digital platforms where we calculate and monitor all the data that are generated from the irrigation systems. We are not selling irrigation systems anymore. We're selling data of crops. So what type of crop are you looking for? What type of yield are you looking for? This is where we are going to the next level of the industry. So it's either you become a leader in this industry, or at least follow up whatever is happening. So for example, in the generators business, we are also trying to install sensors that will have live reading of the generators. So we'll have precautions and maintenance free, I would say, equipment in the future. I wouldn't say full maintenance free, but at least preventive maintenance, less downtime. So this is where we see our responsibility is. So it's not only about the price, it's not only about the delivery, it's the quality of services that you're providing, your responsibility toward your customers. And I like a saying that I heard of one of my uncles very long time ago. He said, we are responsible of farmers, and this is what they put, how they put food on their table. If these systems breaks down, then they don't have a crop to sell, then we don't have a customer that can come again and buy. So it is very sensitive when we talk about downtime and how we educate our customers in dealing with the products. So there are various things that we can do in terms of competition, and when you say about competitive advantage, this is how we feel. Our competitive advantage is that we see ourselves responsible with our customers to take them within their journey to success.
Excellent, thank you. Mr. Akul, Mela Technologies and what you do for the future of technical textiles. You have projects in which Freudenberg, which is your head company, what kind of projects, future projects, are you going to be involved in? Just to give us some, you talked about 100% recycled PET. What else have you got in the pipeline that we should be looking forward to?
Well, Freudenberg is known for its innovation worldwide. It's an age-old company from Germany, and they have always thrived on innovative products across the market, whether it is automotive, whether it is building and constructions. And we have our own internal research and development, and we invest a lot in future technologies. And right now, we have very clear vision about some future technologies like fuel cell, where we are working very extensively in our R&D. Apart from that, I can very specifically talk about mailer, and as I told you, we are working on a lot of recycled materials at the moment as raw materials. Apart from that, when we manufacture these technical textiles, we use a lot of floor polymers, and we know that these floors are slowly going to be removed from the productions in the future. So at the moment, we are working on floor-free products for use in different types of applications in the market.
Thank you. And lastly, before we end, Mr. Krupensky, your binding agent, your concrete, your sustainability kind of view of construction. How do you see the future in terms of smart cities or equipping people with the right solutions as a combination? So we see at the show here, we see smart homes, we see this, that, and the other, and obviously, I suppose, smart concrete is what you produce. How do you see your future, the company, progressing in the next, 5 years? What are you working on to take it to another level?
Yep. That's a good question. Thank you. We envision to build Kruna homes and even Kruna cities that are 100% sustainable. I just want to give an example what we mean with sustainability. At the moment when you create a wall, you need at least 6 to 7 phases to produce a finished wall, from the paint to the plastering to the structural to the insulation, then plastering again, painting again. So you have at least 6 to 8 different steps to produce a wall. With our technology, we envision to reduce it to even 1 step. That means from the painting outside to the painting inside, everything is integrated and is 100% natural, free of toxic material. Circular economy, it's so important. What do we, how we add value to 100% circular economy? So let me say in 80 years, 100 years, or maybe 200 years, yeah, you say, okay, I don't want to have this building anymore. What you do is you crush the Kruna walls, yeah, the Kruna house, make it again to sand, mix it with our binder, and then you create the same or different products. So this is what we envision with 100% sustainability, and it's possible. So this wall, for example, is stone. 100% stone. If you put it under the microscope, it is sandstone, but much stronger than concrete. And some other advantages that brings this technology, how it adds value to the circular economy and to 100% sustainability is it is 100% UV protected. Then it's acid-free. It's salt resistant. Yeah. You can make it in any shape and any color. And then also there are calculations that the durability of this material reaches 1,000 years. Yeah. So 10 times more than what is possible with concrete. And there are so many applications. We cannot do everything alone. We are looking forward to partner with local manufacturers to really be able to add value to all the different industries in Saudi, and then also through the great strategic geographical position and raw materials we envision to produce in Saudi, to have on the material made in Saudi and export it internationally.
Excellent. Okay, well, I think we learned quite a lot today from these four gentlemen. I'm going to say, if you want to have a word with them in private, like an individual word, I'll ask them to go towards the coffee machine at the back. But I'd like to give you give them a big round of applause and thank them for their time today. And if I could ask you gentlemen to come to the middle and we'll take a photograph. We have our photographer here. Hello, photographer. Thank you. And